All right, CrossFit Heath. So for today's Olympic lifting session, we've got a pretty simple day. We are going to focus on 4 lifts. We're going to work mostly on the snatch. So we're going to start with 3 position snatch. And in one set, your 3 positions are from the ground. So a full snatch, and that's squat snatch. A below the knee snatch, so a low snatch, and then above the knee, which is a hang snatch. And that above the knee position is anywhere between your knee and your high hang position. So you kind of work from there. You're going to do 3 sets of working between your 60 and 75% range. Again, you're not constrained to those percentages. Go off of, whenever I lift today, I'm going to go off of how my body feels. But they should be relatively smooth weights or smooth lifts, things that are lifts that are going to be really pretty from sets 1 to 3. Then you're going to move on to snatch pull. We're going to work 95%, 3 sets of 2, and then 100%. And this is off of your 1 rep max snatch. Again, 3 sets of 2, so 6 total sets there. 5 sets of 5 on back squat at 75%, and 5 sets of 5 push press at 75%. Okay, so let's take a look at the video and we'll get going. So for today's Olympic weightlifting session, we're going to start off on our warm-up with squat therapy again. So just remember, we're descending down into a good air squat. So feet are about shoulder width apart. We're going to push our hips back, air squat down, and then use the rig for assistance if needed. You can move around on those heels. Make sure you can wiggle your toes. And then I'm going to challenge you in that minute, if you can, come off of that rig. And let's try to be able to sit without the assistance of the rig. Okay, again, you can move around and shift weight on those heels. Okay, so you're going to sit in that squat for a minute. And then we're going to move on to a variation of the Bergener warm-up, since we have some snatches today. So the first thing is, whenever I'm doing the Bergener warm-up, I want to be practicing my hook grip. So if you have not mastered the hook grip yet, now's your chance to kind of work on that. Remember that hook grip, you're going to go diagonally across the barbell with your thumb, and then your index finger and middle finger are going to wrap loosely around your thumbnail, and then the barbell is going to rest in that basket. Okay, I'm not squeezing the barbell like a natural grip. I am hooking that barbell in, and then notice that my forearm is nice and relaxed. All right, so for this variation of the Bergener, we're going to get in our snatch grip. So snatch grip, remember, we want that barbell resting on our belt line when we stand up. So I should have straight arms, okay? The barbell's resting on my belt line, and then I've got the barbell resting loosely in my snatch grip. My feet are going to be at hip width, okay? So if I'm turning towards you, it look just like this, hip width, all right? From here, okay, I'm going to go, first thing, we're going to go with a dip and drive. So from the high hang position, my knees are going to go out slightly. There's my dip, okay, just a shallow dip, and then up to the toes. Okay, so dip and drive. Okay, if you're in class with me, you'll hear me give the commands down and finish. So when I say down, that would be your dip, and finish, up. Okay, from there, you will add in a shrug. So remember, with snatch, we're getting to triple extension. So we'll go dip, drive to the toes, and then shrug. So like this, down and finish. Okay, and then we'll put that together with what I call fast elbows. We're going to go elbows high and outside, that's our pull, and then we're going to pull that barbell up, okay, for a muscle snatch. So dip, drive, shrug, elbows high and outside, and pull that barbell up. So look like this. Down and finish, right there, okay? Now, on the muscle snatch, okay, you're going to leave that barbell up, You're going to widen your stance to shoulder width apart. You're going to give me an overhead squat. Okay, making sure to show me those armpits, actively press the barbell up towards the ceiling. Okay, and then you can bring the barbell down to your high hang position. You're going to go back to hip width. Okay, from here you're going to give me a squat snatch from the high hang. So remember, we want to dip, drive, get to triple extension, drop underneath the barbell and stand, and then one more full snatch and stand. And notice when I land, you can hear. Okay, that's because I'm going from hip width to my squat stance. Okay, and then that is the variation of the burgener. So I want you to work through that 5 times. So let me go through it one more time, all at once, and then you will work through it 5 times before you start putting on weight on the barbell. Okay, so from here. That's it. Our first movement for this session is the 3-position snatch. We've worked our way back around to that. We're going to stay between our 60 and 75% range of our 1 rep snatch max. This is a squat snatch, but feel free to work the power if you need to. If you're still working on depth, just work what feels comfortable. Don't force yourself to drop deeper if you're not comfortable with the weight. But I do, as far as goals here, I do want us working on catching the snatch in a deeper position, so I'm not so much worried about the weight. Remember that the 60 to 75%, you're not tied down to that. That should be a fairly light weight that you can move well. So if you calculate those percentages and you're not feeling very confident about those weights, then pull some weight off. We're not really worried about that. So our 3 positions are full from the floor, below the knee, and above the knee. So basically you're working a full snatch, you're working a low snatch, and then a hang snatch. And that hang snatch can be anywhere from hip to above the knee. Okay, so what that looks like, I'm going to start from the floor. Reset, below the knee. Last one, you can go anywhere in the hang position. Okay, so what I will do is I'll warm up to my 60%, and then my working sets will start. I'm going to do 3 sets of the 3-position snatch. So that'll be 3 snatches in 1 set, and so for a total of 9 snatches. So everything should look pristine, everything should look pretty, since I'm not doing too many reps today on that movement. Okay, for snatch pull, we're going to add a little bit of weight this week. You're going to be working from 95 to 100% of your 1 rep snatch max weight. So since this is heavier, I want you to be really careful here. What you're working on is exploding through that second pull in the snatch. So remember last week, we talked about how the first pull in the snatch from ground to knee is very slow. Once you get to the knee, you're rapidly opening up those hips to drive that bar off the floor. Okay? So on a snatch pull, you're working that explosion. So if you put so much weight on the bar that both pulls look really slow and lethargic, then you're missing out on the purpose of the lift. So I want to have a weight on there that's challenging, yes, but I want to basically drill the explosion in that second movement. Again, the barbell is staying vertical. I don't want it traveling away from my body. I also don't want to drive back. Okay, my body and the barbell are staying close and vertical. So, in my snatch position, vertical shins, flat back, shoulders slightly over the barbell, neutral spine. First pull is slow, and then rapidly expanding the hips, getting to triple extension. Again, right there, okay? I'm doing 6 sets of 2 on that. The first 3 sets at 95%, the last 3 sets at 100. So that's my, okay. For our third lift, we're going to go to back squat. Of course, you can do this from the rack, but if you don't have a rack at home, just make sure that you're safely putting that barbell in the back rack position using a power clean, a push jerk, and then lowering that barbell down using your knees for cushion. So a couple of things about the back squat. We want to make sure that we are squatting from a shoulder width stance, that our toes are slightly pointed out, about a 45-degree angle, that we're driving our knees out, we're keeping our elbows stacked underneath the barbell, and we're keeping a big chest. Okay, we want to look straight ahead. We don't want to look at the ceiling, and we don't want to look straight down. We want to get that spine as neutral as possible all the way through the movement. So, if I'm going from the ground, like I said, I want to power clean it up, push jerk, and then lower that barbell down safely. Okay? From here, like I said, I'm going to stack my elbows underneath the bar so that my forearm is in line with my wrist. Okay? I don't want the elbows in front of the bar, of course, and I don't want that barbell sliding back into my grip. So, I want a full grip on the bar, elbows stacked. Okay? From there, I'm going to engage my core. Okay? Make sure I'm putting pressure on my toes. I'm going to push my hips back, drive the knees out, go down to a depth that feels comfortable, and then drive through my heels on the way up. Okay, we're going 5 sets of 5 on back squat, and we're going to stay at 75% of our 1 rep max. Okay, and our final movement for this session is push press. You can go from the rack, but if you don't have a rack, just go ahead and power clean that barbell up, get it into your front rack, and then go from there. So for push press, the commands you want to give yourself are dip and drive. There is no rebend underneath the bar, so make sure you're being really strict with this movement, okay? So what we're looking for, in the front rack position, we want those elbows forward. The barbell should be resting on those shoulders, and you've got a fingertip grip. Okay. From here, I'm going to start out at hip width in my stance. Okay. I'm going to give a shallow dip, as if you were sitting down on a high bar stool. Shallow dip, driving the knees out, and then I'm going to drive through the bar and finish. Okay. Pull the barbell back down. I'm going to slide my head back, and then go back into my front rack position. Now, when I'm coming out of the dip, I'm going to push my head back to make room so that I'm driving straight up, and then I'm going to finish with my head through. Make sure that you keep your rib cage pulled down as much as possible through the movement so that you're not arching your back. You want to finish with that barbell right over your ears. Okay. We're going to do 5 sets of 5 at 75% of your 1 rep max on your push press. I know a lot of people don't know their numbers, their percentages for push press. So what I would do is work up, do like 2 or 3 warm-up sets, put a weight on there that is about 7 out of 10 on the difficulty scale, and kind of stay there, add or take away based on how it feels. If you start to really struggle with keeping your rib cage down, if you start to really arch at the back and you're having to press up that way, then I would pull some weight off. These should be really strict on your push press, so let's not prioritize weight.